welcome back everybody to your favorite hangout place, the Space Gulag, otherwise known as PPSW, and we're back with another Star Wars theory. Before we go any further though, I got a couple collaborations coming up, so stay tuned for those. I'm super excited to bring them to you guys. Today though, we're back with what if Ahsoka Tano fought Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar. Also, if you're new here, subscribe if you want a chance to win a free lightsaber. Anyways, today we take a look at what would have happened, or what could have happened, had Anakin fought Ahsoka on Mustafar at the end of Revenge of the Sith. This moment could have certainly happened, but what would have transpired from it is unknown. So today we're going to see what would have happened if Ahsoka went to confront her former master on the fiery abyss on Mustafar. The series begins en route from Mandalore on a Venator-class Star Destroyer carrying Darth Maul to Coruscant. Order 66 comes through, and the clone troopers turn on Ahsoka Tano. All the events play out the same, actually. Ahsoka and Rex are left on after the Venator crashes, and Ahsoka knows something is wrong with Anakin. But Rex confirms that the entire Grand Army of the Republic had turned on the Order. So we don't know this about Ahsoka at this point right now in our own timeline, on the Earth timeline. We don't know what happened to Ahsoka at this point, so we kind of just assume she didn't go to Coruscant. So we're gonna change that. Ahsoka believes there could be one place the Jedi could survive, and that one place where she could also get answers regarding all of her teachers, friends, Obi Wan and Anakin. Her and Rex would go to the Jedi Temple and arrive at the Jedi Temple, an ivory tower of peace in the galaxy, now in ruins. They landed on the steps, finding clone troopers and Jedi strewn across the front of the temple. Walking in, the two heard voices. They sounded relatively familiar, though Rex had to stay outside. He was very distraught at the mass death of so many people he had cared about, brothers and Jedi alike. So many had died for no reason at all. Ahsoka ran in stealthily to find two masters, Obi Wan and Yoda. They had survived, yet the tragedy had worn its after effects. Obi Wan and Yoda had looked as if they had aged decades in the few hours since Ahsoka had last communicated with them, before Order 66. The three of them talked. Neither Obi Wan or Ahsoka knew who had done this, though they went into the holocron recordings and it was all unveiled to them. Anakin had slaughtered many Jedi. Sindralik was the first he had killed in the Order, and they knew that they had to stop him. But first they needed to kill the Emperor. Obi-Wan told Yoda that he could not kill Anakin alone. So Yoda decided that it would be best for Kenobi and himself to take on Sidious together. But Ahsoka should at no means try to confront Anakin. They told her this and they made sure that she would agree, and she did. But then she thought of Padme, and she needed to talk to her. When Ahsoka went to confront Padme, she told Padme about all the atrocities Anakin had committed, telling her that he had not just betrayed the Republic, but the Jedi. Padme was reluctant to believe Ahsoka, so she decided to follow her. Much like Kenobi in canon, Ahsoka would sneak aboard and be flown to Mustafar. The events again would play out very similar, where at some point Padme would say, "Ahsoka is right, you've changed." Anakin is very hurt by this actually, but that hurt is manifested into anger. Anakin asks Padme what she means by this, and Padme explains that everything that Anakin had done, and his rage would grow from this. Then Ahsoka can be seen at the top of the ramp that leads into Padme's ship. Anakin is pissed at this point, blinding rage, and he decides to choke Padme. Ahsoka runs down from the ramp and tries to force push her master, but he's much stronger than her. Much stronger than ever before, actually, and it only deters him. It just kind of knocks him back. He doesn't, get thrown, he just gets knocked back a little bit. Padme falls to the floor, and Ahsoka asks why he would hurt someone he had loved for so long. Anakin is baffled. He believes she had turned against him, asking her why she had abandoned him. Ahsoka tries to plead with Anakin, asking why he had fallen so far, not realizing that she was only pushing him further and further into his rage. Ahsoka then said that name, the name that Anakin was so eager to blame anything on. Ahsoka said that the entire Order had died except for Obi-Wan and Yoda. Anakin had blamed Obi-Wan every chance he got, and at this point, feeling that Obi-Wan was turning Ahsoka and Padme against him, was enraged. Anakin told Ahsoka that she needed to join him, or die. Ahsoka denied her former master yet again, and as Ahsoka blinked, nothing but beaming yellow eyes were staring at her. Anakin was gone. Ahsoka readied herself for the duel of her life. When she left the temple, Anakin felt like a failure of a master, and every time he tried to make it better, when they finally met up, she blew him off. Anakin loved her, and she just left him. She abandoned him. Before Mandalore, she ignored him, and now she wouldn't join him. This was heartbreak turned into rage. Ahsoka was fighting out of her league. She struggled with a Maul that wasn't at the top of his game and barely won. Now she was fighting Anakin Skywalker, more powerful than he had ever been. Ahsoka was quick, but she was immediately thrown into defense. Anakin pressed forward. Anakin always had a heavy strike. He was powerful as a duelist, but this time Anakin was trying to kill her. This was no spar, this was a fight. Ahsoka fell back further and further as they entered the control room of the Mustafar industrial complex. On the other side of the galaxy, though, 2 Jedi who were hooded entered the Emperor's room on Coruscant. Surprised that 2 of the Order's council members had survived, Palpatine rose from his desk. He had killed 4 Jedi not even a day before. Now he wanted to kill the Order's best. Palpatine used lightning as an attempt to foil the Jedi, and it shocked Yoda, sending him across the room, leaving Obi Wan alone. Alone against the most powerful Sith Lord in galactic history. Obi Wan pulled his lightsaber out, and Palpatine walked from behind his desk, igniting his blade. He expected to kill Kenobi with a swift blow. Kenobi, though, was a much better duelist than Palpatine thought. As the 2 began their duel, Kenobi held his own with the Sith Lord. Palpatine had seen Dooku easily best Kenobi, but Dooku always seemed to have the upper edge on Kenobi. Kenobi was struggling, though. He was fighting for his life, beating the Sith Lord where it mattered the most, but he wouldn't be much of a match unless Yoda rose and joined him. Anakin pushed Ahsoka through the doors, kicking her in the jaw. She stuttered and fell back. Anakin swung for her throat as she fell, but she caught his blade with a parry. Backflipping, she got to her feet, and Anakin swung her smaller blade away. Just like her duel with Maul, she was now reliant on one blade. Ahsoka tried getting aggressive with her master and caught him off balance. She pushed him back a little, but Ahsoka could get a little too arrogant with this if she wasn't careful. Ahsoka pushed and pushed, and when Anakin was ready to strike, she stepped back. Pulling herself together, she had gotten an advantage on Anakin, but now he was ready to kill her. They interlocked in a strike, and Anakin used his strength to push her down, and she slid away again, slipping outside and being pushed back as Anakin pushed the offensive. Ahsoka was getting weak and losing her ground fast. She tried and tried, but Anakin was too strong. She was pleading with her master. She tried to get to him. She wanted him to come back from the darkness that was harnessing him. She wanted Anakin Skywalker back, but he wasn't coming back. He cared only about Padme and the birth of their children. For a second, Ahsoka thought she could see Anakin coming back. She thought she was getting to her master, but as she plunged the blade into her chest, she saw what would become of Anakin, the tragedy of the Chosen One. Ahsoka's blade fell, and as it did, her life essence moved on. Anakin grabbed her blade and walked away from her corpse. On Coruscant, Yoda awoke and ignited his blade, to which Palpatine grinned, igniting a second blade. A flurry of red, blue, and green illuminated the small room. Palpatine used his power to try and gain the upper hand on Kenobi, but Kenobi's flawless defensive form allowed him to handle Palpatine better than Palpatine could have ever anticipated. Yoda took this moment to strike down Palpatine and kill the Sith Lord. Anakin on Mustafar carried Padme inside of her vessel, and he calmed down and his anger subsided. Padme gave a healthy birth on Naboo, and Anakin was so relieved that she had lived, but realized that what all this meant. All of what he had done, he killed everyone. The entire Jedi Order, his apprentice, Mace Windu, all so that his wife could live through something she handled effortlessly. Anakin stood outside and looked over the valley. He enjoyed the movements and the living force around him. He knew that he would have to die for what he had done. Or, if the Jedi didn't kill him, the Emperor would. Anakin didn't have that rage anymore. He was himself again. A shuttle landed on a landing pad near him, and 2 Jedi stepped out from it. Yoda and Kenobi. They had seen so much death, and they wore it on their faces. Anakin told Padme that he loved her. She wasn't thrilled with him for almost killing her, but Anakin walked out before the Jedi and knelt before them as they ignited their blades. Anakin apologized, and the Jedi, being Jedi, they couldn't kill Anakin, but they took him into custody. They decided that the Senate would be regrouping, and as the remaining members of the Jedi Order, they needed to do something themselves. They decided to freeze Anakin in carbon freezing for the rest of eternity. Obi Wan and Yoda regrouped the Jedi Order. No more Sith remained. Obi Wan and Yoda decided that they needed to change the code to work around emotion and help those with attachments. The remaining 100 or so of Jedi would come back to the Jedi Temple. The clones would be called off the Jedi and be sent to finish the Clone Wars as the Separatists crumbled without leadership. And the Senate, they would be reorganized with new leadership. Padme decided she would let her children be raised at the Jedi Temple as restoration for the Jedi for what her husband had done. The only condition, though, is that the two children knew who their mother was, and that they would be allowed to visit her and love her. And that's the end of the theory, my friends. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. This theory was something that I recently got suggested, but I thought it was a cool idea, and I wanted to be as compelling as I possibly could. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset about this. Why would Anakin kill Ahsoka? Ahsoka could have brought him back. At this point, Anakin was mad beyond belief. Anybody that wasn't Padme that was there would have pissed him off. I mean, he was already getting upset at Padme because Padme was talking about Obi Wan. She said, Obi Wan cares about us. He cares about you, and he says, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it anymore. So, he was already getting pissed off that she was just mentioning his name. So, anyone that came through those doors, came through the ramp, that would have just sent him over the edge. And I know a lot of people believe, and I'm one of them, believe that Ahsoka could have done something for Anakin. And I do really believe that she could have done something for Anakin. But I think right here at this moment was not the time for it. This moment right here is not the time where Anakin was able to be talked to. He would have just turned into a rageful, spiteful individual ready to kill anybody. And Ahsoka caused him a lot of pain. And we're going to be completely real here. Ahsoka caused Anakin a lot of pain. When she left the temple, when she blew him off before the invasion of Mandalore, like, I don't know if you guys remember, but during that time, he just kept getting blown off by her. He was trying to talk to her, and she was just like blowing him off like he was nobody. And he still gave her the present of her lightsabers back, and it just seemed very disappointing. And when she had the opportunity to talk to him, she said, "No, I'll save it." And though we didn't know about that, she hurt him by not reaching out to him. And I think Ahsoka could have played a very pivotal role if she did reach out to Anakin and did try and support him better as a friend. But I mean, Anakin loved her to death, and she broke his heart. She really did. I mean, it's even in the Clone Wars, like season 6.5, where they didn't finish the episodes, but they're still on YouTube. But he was talking to Obi Wan about how much of a failure he felt because he had failed Ahsoka. And I feel like in a moment like this, it would have been much like that, where he would have been thinking about all those times that she had failed him, and he felt he had failed her, and it would have just grown into a rage because he wasn't in a clear mindset. Anakin was a good man, but at this point on Mustafar, he wasn't in a clear mindset. He was still there. Anakin was still within him, but the only person that could have brought him back was Padme. Padme was the only person that could have brought him back, right? And I think anyone that went to Mustafar would have faced Vader, not Anakin. So tell me what you guys think down below. Tell me if you think I'm accurate with how I feel about that. I hope this was a compelling story. This was really only revolved around a fight. I've never really done one of these before, I don't think, where we've just focused on a particular fight and not what follows. But I like the idea of Padme saying, like, look, I want to give my children back to the Order because of what Anakin had done to the Order, but on the condition that they are still able to communicate with me, that they're still able to love me. So, tell me what you guys think about the theory, if it falls in line with what you guys think or what you would have done differently. Anyways, guys, I love you all. Spread the love. Always remember to subscribe down below. I got, you know, a couple collabs coming up that I mentioned before, so subscribe to those channels as well. Their links are down below. Subscribe to me if you want a chance to win a free lightsaber, and always remember, my friends, may the Force be with you.